Championships are the most prestigious thing that you can win in the company, and there's always fans looking for new champions, and that's what we're going to be looking at today in this video. What's going on, guys? What's good in wrestling here? My name is Andrew. It's your buddy, it's your pal, stealing that intro from Scott Stanford once again. We are going to be looking at every champion in the WWE right now and looking at who could beat them. Now, I want to give a shout out to Santi. Obviously, you guys probably know him, Santi's app on YouTube. He makes incredible content. I watch his videos, so hopefully he doesn't mind me making this video, but this is his original idea. We're going to be talking about who can beat these current champions and who I personally would want to see hold the titles in the WWE. So let's just get right into this and start with the Kabuki Warriors, who hold the WWE Women's World Tag Team Championships. Unfortunately, right now, there isn't a lot of tag teams that I want to see beat them, and there isn't actually a lot of tag teams in general on the women's side. Hell, in the WWE at all, the tag teams that are going on right now, there's a lot of factions and stuff, but none of them are screaming out to me that I want them to beat the current champions. I want to have a little bit of fun with this one. I've said it in a video before. Imagine if we saw Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair become tag champs, beat the Kabuki Warriors. It's a feel-good thing, two amazing wrestlers. Jade's first title, Bianca is a legitimate champion and a trailblazer in the women's division. Imagine if they won. But then they have a feud against each other once they lose those titles. It's all a long game. It's all about storytelling. Triple H put me in the office. I would love to see Jade and Bianca become champs. Next is two members of the Judgment Day. That's Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. First of all, they need to split these titles. We need two different tag champs, one on SmackDown, one on Raw. It's just holding up more titles. I don't like it. Again, I like Finn Balor. I like Damian Priest, Senior, Money in the Bank. They're not really doing anything right now. At one point, the Judgment Day was the most interesting thing in the WWE, and I was genuinely enjoying watching them perform every week. But now I'm kind of just waiting for the next steps here. What's going to happen? We need these guys to lose these titles because Damian needs to cash in that Money in the Bank. Like in June, there's going to be another winner. So he's got to make a decision soon. And I would love to see Finn back into the world title capacity. I think he deserves a lot more than what he's doing right now. And again, that's no knock on the Judgment Day, but I would love to see these titles dropped to a different set of teams, because it's probably going to have to be a tag turmoil match. Like there's probably going to have to be a bunch of people, maybe a fatal four-way. There's nobody right now that I just am like, okay, these guys definitely need to be tag champs on the men's side. It's probably going to end up being R-Truth and The Miz, because R-Truth is super over right now, the whole Judgment Day storyline. So I would just choose R-Truth and The Miz to beat them, because again, the tag divisions and the tag team landscape isn't as deep as it used to be. Let's go to that United States Championship next that you can see behind me, and it's being held by one Logan Paul, the Maverick, the owner of Prime Hydration, one of the owners of Prime. That lemon flavor is pretty good. But listen, Logan has been really good. He's had, what, 11 matches at the time of this video in the WWE. He's been incredible, but we all know that he's more than likely not holding on to this championship for too much longer, as the WWE probably has ideas for its next champion already. But I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball in this, because if he ultimately does face Randy Orton at WrestleMania, I think he's going to win. I don't know why WWE would put the title, the US title, on Randy Orton. I just don't think it's a fit. I love Randy Orton, and people are going to hate me for this. I would love to see Randy Orton win that championship. Maybe it would be something like Cena did and have that open challenge. It would be really cool. But I think they want Randy to keep putting guys over, and hell, I even think Randy wants to do that. My next US champion would be Braun Breaker. I would love to see Braun go in there and face Logan. I think it would be a really cool match. You'd have that power and athleticism from Braun, and just the all-around greatness already in the ring from Logan Paul. I mean, he's doing a little bit of everything. Two young guys going in there and having a pretty good match. It would be interesting, and it would give Braun another title, as he's already a tag champ in NXT. But maybe once those titles are gone, Logan still has the US title. Braun Breaker comes in and beats Logan for that US Championship. Introductory title into bigger things for Braun Breaker. The Ring General Gunther is next with that Intercontinental Championship, the longest reigning champion of all time when it comes to the IC Championship. And there's a couple really good options for this one, but I always go back to two guys, and that's Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. It looks like the WWE is going with the storyline to do with Sami Zayn, so it kind of makes my decision a little bit easier, and I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn. At the time of recording this, I would love to see Sami get that shot at WrestleMania. I know Chad Gable's in the mix for that as well. He's done some really good promos outside of, you know, on television. He's done them on his Twitter and everything like that. It's been really good. But I think Sami Zayn is probably that next guy to take the championship. It would be a feel-good story. He would break that record. Gunther will go away for a little bit, then insert himself probably in that world title picture, which he definitely should. Gunther is going to have multiple world championships with long reigns, as we can see with this IC championship. But Sami Zayn would be the real good story to win that IC title. The Genius of the Sky, Io Sky, one of my favorite champions on the roster, one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster. I think she's incredible. I can't wait to see what she does for the rest of her career. But she's holding that WWE's Women's Championship. We all know where it's going. It's going around the waist and the shoulder of one Bayley. She is turning face. She is a face now. She's been thrown to the side by Damage Control. She has to win this title. Io's had a pretty good run. I'm not going to lie. I've liked it. But Bayley's going to win this championship. She deserves it. She's already a Hall of Famer, and this is just going to add to her legacy. She's going to put on more good matches probably with Io Sky. She's going to go and have some matches with other members of Damage Control. She's going to have a real good title reign. I can't wait to see what she does. It's got to be Bayley. One of the most dominant champions in the WWE right now is one Rhea Ripley from the Judgment Day, and she is holding that Women's World Championship. I love that belt. I think it looks really nice, but she's probably going to retain at WrestleMania. That's my thoughts, man. I think she's going to retain, but when I'm really looking at the roster and what they're going to do next, I don't see any other option other than Becky right now, so I feel like I have to choose Becky Lynch. The reason I'm saying that is because I want Chelsea Green to hold that championship. I think it would be really cool. I think it would make sense. Imagine her in her Karen ways, her Karen-esque ways of doing things, holding that championship. She would be so annoying with Adam Pearce. She would be facing and beating all the baby faces with cheating and everything else. I think it would be awesome. I think it would make a ton of sense. I would love to see it, but Becky has to win that title first. They're not going to have Chelsea Green beat Rhea Ripley. It's not going to happen. So I think Becky probably ends up beating Rhea somehow. I don't know if it's going to be at WrestleMania because Mommy's always on top. We don't want Rhea to lose, but I feel like Becky is the one that has to take it. But then Chelsea Green would be the person that I would love to see win that championship. And that's because I think Chelsea Green's going to win the Money in the Bank in Toronto, which I'm going to be trying to attend in July. So let's see what happens. I'm choosing Becky, but my real champion that I would love to see is Chelsea Green. Getting to the two major championships right now on the men's side, we've got Seth Rollins with the World Heavyweight Championship. And listen, Drew McIntyre needs to win the world title. He has been on an unreal run, and it would make a ton of sense for him to beat Seth Rollins and win that world championship, because that will ultimately set up a CM Punk feud eventually when Punk comes back. I think they're going to give Drew a nice run there. He's going to face, you know, all of the baby face guys on the roster until he gets to CM Punk, because Punk is probably going to be out for another 6 or 7 months. Like, this is not going to be an easy recovery, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor, so I could be completely wrong. Having CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre eventually would more than likely be what the end game is, and then that ultimately leading back to Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, which was supposed to happen at this year's WrestleMania, where you're gonna get an awesome feud between those guys as well. So Drew deserves it, but you have to look out for Mr. Money in the Bank, or Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. But I think Drew McIntyre is the guy that has to be that next world champion. Now, you guys are probably gonna guess where I'm going with this one. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns has to be defeated by the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. It needs to happen. He's got to finish the story at WrestleMania. At the time I'm recording this, the match obviously hasn't happened yet. We want to see Cody. We want Cody. We want Cody to win that match. It'll eventually set up Rock and Roman down the line. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of friction there. We already see the little snippets of it. The bloodline will implode like it usually does. But Cody has to finish the story. It's probably the most obvious choice of the video. But what I always go back to, and what I've spoken to a few people at my other job about, is Cody wasn't scheduled to be in the main event against Roman Reigns because they were trying to get Rock versus Roman, and Roman was probably gonna retain. So does that mean WWE still has the same idea against Cody? We'll have to see. So those are my picks. Leave yours down below in the comments. I really appreciate it. Thanks to Santi's app for coming up with a great idea. Hopefully you don't mind me making my version of it. Again, this is just my opinion. I love and appreciate you guys as always. That's what's good in wrestling. I'm Andrew. I'll see you guys later.